Hi there, guys. I'm gonna do this really quick video. It's kind of a two-topic video. The first topic I want to uh, bring up about just kind of an update on um, the Shanquella Robinson case. Um, there has been um, a little bit more progress on the case. And um, okay, really, that progress is that finally someone has been arrested. Um, Dejanay Roberts Jackson. Dejanay Jackson. I know I've been messing up her name this whole time, but yeah, she is the one in the video basically that we saw doing. You know, I didn't see it as I said, but that um, was fighting her, what did the most harm and so forth. The other rumor, because it's been so much stuff coming out about this case. The other rumor about Winter Donovan actually, uh, extending the actual blow that, my phone's ringing. I'm not going to answer that. We don't have any proof of that yet. I mean, a whole lot more stuff is going to come out, I'm pretty sure. Um, as I said, though, I kind of really think that it has been, I think it has been a lot of maybe false, maybe fake, maybe misguided information from the media, you know, from media sources and so forth. Um, Things have just kind of been jumbled, in my opinion. And kind of just really misgiven to the community and to the public. And I don't know honestly if that is just like for views and because here's the thing that we know that the media jumps on whatever's hot and the media will put their flair on it or not tell certain stuff and things like that just to kind of keep the story hot. And I'm not at all taking away from, Dejanay's situation and, what happened with her. I mean, that's why I'm talking about it, is because like everybody else, I want her family to get justice. Like I want her to get justice. And so the details are just crazy and what happened is just crazy. And, you want to get to the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? And so uh, that's why I talk about it. But with that being the case, um, sometimes the media has a habit of just kind of. I don't think a lot of times they really care about how they put something out, or I think if it'll give some shock or if it'll get some reads or something like that, um, I think they'll do it, and so um, I don't know. I kind of think that's a little bit of what's going on with this case, to just kind of, you know, um, kind of keep things going. It is very, at the end of the day, very, very sad. We are all waiting to hear more, to get more understanding on the situation. Hope that the information comes out accurately, and everything continually come out accurately. But at the end of the day, she was arrested. I think she is being extradited to Mexico, where she should be. Hopefully, I'm ultimately, I'm pretty sure all of them. are going to have to go back to give some type of statements. I mean, because they were there in the room with her when this incident happened. I think all of them had some video. I think everybody was taping on their phones. I think the phones need to be confiscated if they have not already destroyed them. I think a horrible thing is, first of all, them being allowed to leave. Because with them being allowed to leave, I mean, they could have done so much. They could have deleted evidence. They could have, where's her stuff? Where's her phone? What happened to her belongings? We already heard that the money was missing, and now there is possibly evidence that there's suggestion that possibly the doctors, who else, the doctor, maybe some of the police or whatever, were possibly paid off with the money that she had. And this is no slight on Mexico at all, but we do know, some of us have heard, and that it's not very hard to pay somebody off in Mexico, or just real quick. Even as I was looking at, I like to look at travel videos and things like that, and people who are now living abroad and things like that. And so I've looked at a lot of that um, in Mexico, because a lot of African Americans and single women and all kinds of stuff, expats, things like that, are in Mexico, different parts of Mexico. And so I have seen some of them, a lot of, really most of them say that, of course, like even with an apartment or something like that, the process is very different from here in America. You don't have to have all this credit. You don't have to, there's no waiting period and everything, and they got to do this background check, and they got, basically, at the end of the day, if you got the money to move in, and maybe first or second month's rent or whatever it is they're required, if you got that money, like even in cash, you give it to them, and it's yours. So I say that to say, that's kind of how things operate over there. Not to say that it doesn't happen here, but I'm just making the um, the correlation between if it is true or not that they were paying people off to say certain stuff, and if that is the case, then there needs to even be more. I mean, the doctor and all the, that stuff needs to be investigated as well. I would love to hear from the doctor. I really would. Because first they said it was a nurse, and then they said it was a doctor. So I mean, like, I would really love to hear from that doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, what she did when you already came there was, we already know there's this big discrepancy between 15 minutes, and then they said she was there 3 hours. Like, first of all, I don't understand what, if she was there for 3 hours, for what? I mean, what doctor stays in somebody's house for I mean, no house call. I've had, there's this thing called Dispatch Health. I have had Dispatch Health come look at my daughter for, like a cold and whatever else. And they ain't never stayed no 3 hours. Like, that is crazy. I'm trying to figure out, but anyway, there's so many discrepancies and everything that we're finding out. But I'm very happy that Dejanay did get arrested. I am waiting for the rest of them to get extradited back or whatever, so that they can give their part. Or I don't know if they're gonna do it on Zoom or whatever. But I also heard that she had possibly ran and maybe was hiding somewhere. I mean, that's a possibility. Like, the rest of them might be too. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Black people talk a whole lot about snitches getting stitches, but a lot of times that's just some BS, because a lot of times you go into the hood, you give black people what they want, or I've heard of people getting sold out for shoes. I've heard people getting sold out for food. You know what I'm saying? And they squealing and telling everything. So somebody knows some stuff, even if they were to be able to hide out or, try to run or something like that. I don't think they get very far. I really don't. So that's the end of that. We will see. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'm gonna keep. I'm happy, very very happy, uh, and justice for Shanquella. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So, but I want to go into something else. It's completely whole different topic. And I actually got a couple of them on my mind. Let's see which one I want to do because I don't want to go like just completely, totally off. Okay, there is. Okay, so we know the Walmart shooter. I don't know a whole ton of a lot about that Walmart shooter. I have looked at the story, probably like everybody else, looked into it. And it's a black man, young black man. Apparently, he wrote a manifesto. I didn't read the manifesto. Um, I probably should, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean, because it's really what I want to say is really not so much about his manifesto and all these kind of things. I'm actually right now still reading a book that I think I might have told you guys about, who talk about this thing called incels. And I really believe, I wish that we black people really kind of knew more about that and knew more about that life and that whatever. I mean, it's very fascinating. The book that I'm reading is called Men Who Hate Women by I knew her name. I knew her name. But anyway, I'll tell you here in a second. But that book, and I think I've already said it before, so I'm not going to go into it a whole lot. Um, but that book talks a lot about that and really talks about um, that community. Like it's so much bigger than what we think. I mean, it is a whole organized thing, with branches and things to it. Um, But usually an incel, when you think about that, talk about that, it's usually you would think about some white guy sitting in his mom basement, probably a nerdy guy with the glasses, very, very socially awkward, probably no friends, kind of sit back to himself. Um, no girls like him or, whatever, no girlfriend, whatever. And so that's kind of like the stereotype. Now, since COVID and just like over the years with social media and everything, this has become more prevalent. Like it's I've seen documentaries where there are Chinese incels, guys living in their basements and in their mom's basement and you know live that type of lifestyle. So it's worldwide. It's everywhere. And now we're looking at the face of even that being with black men, a lot of black men, as times are changing. The author of that book is called Laura Bates. Her name is Laura Bates, Men Who Hate Women. And like I think I said already, it's not a feminist, man hating book. It's very informative, and I suggest, especially women, to read that book, not to find hate for men or whatever, but to begin to understand. It's in chapters, of course, and so it's very 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 informative on so many different things, and it connects dots, and it really makes sense. Um, if you get that book, let me know. Please let me know. Put it in the comments or whatever. Um, but um, this is kind of the stereotype of these guys. And so from this guy's manifesto or, what they're saying about him, because even interviews that I have uh, watched, I've watched some interviews of some of the employees who were talking about the incident. And they even said like he was just kind of quiet, like he was just kind of different, you know. And that is usually the case. And anyway, with that being said, I watched a video of, you know, of someone who was talking about uh him and the incident and so forth, and you know, talking about black men specifically and mental health and things like that. And you know, we it's a problem in the black community with our people period, black men and black women. There's a stereotype with therapy and seeing psychiatrists and all that. I mean, it's just there. We already know all about that. I don't have to get into that. Um, and so a lot of mental health gets unchecked in the black community, but it is so prevalent, you know. Um, a lot of behavior that black people, you know, paint as Joe, that's just us. That's just it's mental health, and it's not normal. When you start going outside of the black community and start exploring and other people, cultures, and everything, you'll find there's some really toxic, crazy stuff that we do. And I don't mean crazy as in, I'm just saying different from other people. It's really not normal. It's really not. It's really not. And we need help for it. And so we have that stigma at the end of the day. And you know, this person was talking about that, and talking about um, how mental health is really like black men don't seek it. You know what I'm saying? And they need other brothers and things like that to, you know, come together and maybe even get a forum or whatever, a place where they black men feel safe to be able to talk and reach out to other brothers. And I agree. I absolutely agree with that. I have been saying for the longest, as we especially have been seeing more and more of these incels and things like that coming out and being black men and shoot mass shooters and things like that. But I mean, when black men get a mic, when black men get a platform, all they talk about is black women and weave and makeup, and black women don't do this and black women don't do that, and white women are better, and Asian women, or any non-black woman is better, and blah blah blah. And to me, that just builds up hate and resentment. And I really truly believe platforms like that, and we see them everywhere, I think it helps stir up the hate. I really do. I think it helps to, and that's a little bit of what that book was talking about, not specifically for black men, but just kind of men in general. They just have a place to vent and hate on women and stuff like that, instead of doing things and trying to come together to be better people and support each other in a healthy way. Many of them support each other in their degeneracy and in their hatred of women and in their, yeah, go ahead on and do it. You know, I mean, these platforms that talk so negatively and so ill of, and even ill of women, and even talk about violence and committing. I mean, a lot of those platforms, even as that book reveals, they encourage each other. They encourage each other. There's like support groups for hate, and of course, it's not good, you know. But so many of these platforms where men are, you know, having a voice to talk about harming women and talk about hating women this and women that, and you know, all women of course, but you know, especially in the black community, we're the ones who are being targeted the most right now. I think it's more to it. I think there's more behind it, but at the end of the day, that's the issue, and that's what's going on right now. And I don't see the support. And I agree with that guy who says, you know, men need to start coming together and, you know, kind of being more supportive of other men in a more positive way. I mean, I think it would make a huge difference because men listen to other men at the end of the day. Men really don't listen to women like that. When it's something life changing, something big or whatever, men listen to other men, and men are very, very influenced by other men. And one of the things that I've noticed and that he brought up, in the manifesto, I think the guy said something about, wanting to be married and so forth, and his mom had died and things like that. And so he wanted and needed, I guess, that female companionship or whatever. But um and felt bad about it. But here's the thing. I saw a person in those comments saying something about how women make you feel bad, and they don't want you and blah. Okay, but if other men were coming together who are the bigger influences on other men to support brothers, maybe talk about how or what you need to do, or just be a place for them to get those type of feelings out instead of hurting people, that would be so much more positive. That would probably save a lot of lives. I mean, but like I say, so many men use those platforms for hate and spreading hate and low frequency vibrations. And, it just is nothing good and positive. And it puts many people's lives in danger. And, I wish they would start using their platforms for that. Yeah, women might reject you or not want you, or you too awkward, or yeah, but here's what I found, and you all can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I found that it's usually more men who laugh at and talk about and ridicule other men who are like that than women. Yeah, the woman may not want to be your boyfriend, but a lot of times women will kind of like take those type guys under their wing and like at least be their friend. Other dudes ain't gonna take dudes like that under their wing. They're gonna laugh at them. They're gonna talk about them. They're gonna get in groups and probably bully them, and And I really think it's men that are a lot more harder, or a lot harder on those type of socially awkward guys and shun them and everything than women do. I think a lot of those guys would have a lot more um, friendships probably with women. And then I'm not even saying that they're gay, like just because, you know what I'm saying? Because women are more compassionate and nurturing, and it's probably a woman that would probably notice that more than dudes. I mean, dudes trying to, they looking at other women, they trying to get a woman, they into their football, they into their social circles, whatever, and they just not known for being caring and sensitive and trying to take a brother under the wing. You just don't have that. You have even, and I'm about to cut the video off because I'm kind of cooking, but even today, you have most men who, just like this whole simp culture, men who want to be romantic, men who want to be sweet to their woman, men who want to uplift women, men who are looking for a good, like all of these things, and the things that they attempt to do to win a woman's affection. You got other men and other dudes and stuff who will absolutely ridicule them, and oh, you a simp. Oh, and it's just crazy. I mean, dudes came out with that stuff. Women didn't come out calling men simps. Men did that. So you guys, let me know if you think I'm right. Let me know what you think about, you know, uh, probably who's the bigger tormentor or ridiculer or whatever of men who would be described as an incel, or socially awkward men who don't have women girlfriends, whatever. Let me know about, what do you think about mental health in the Black community? How it would be great if we more of us would start getting therapy. I kind of think we are. I really do. I kind of think we are. I think a lot of the problem though is we don't have a lot of Black therapists. That's I think is really big. We need to encourage our children, these teenagers and things like that, to go into therapy. Even black male therapists, oh my God, they are so rare. So rare. Um, I was happy that my daughter actually was able to get a black male therapist. And honestly, it made a huge difference in her life. She absolutely loves that guy. Matter of fact, she even says today she kind of outgrew the program that he was in, but she even says today, man, oh, I wish I could talk to him, and I'm like, yeah, I wish you could. I mean, because he was a great guy. He really was a great guy. And we need that. We need more black male therapists. Like, that would be awesome. So let's encourage that. Like, let's encourage our kids and teens and whatever to, psychology is an awesome study, first of all. I kind of wish I, had knew more about psychology and things like that when I was younger, because, it'd definitely be something that, I think I would have really, really enjoyed going into. I like to study now. So, but yeah, talk to me about that. Leave me a comment. What do you think about that? If you want to leave a comment about Shanquella Robinson, how you feel about her being Dejanay finally being arrested, you know, and what do you think might come out and so forth. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut the video off right now. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Like I say, leave me a comment, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Um, and until the next video, you guys, thank you so much. Until the next video, see you next time.